Now at 6 a.m. on WKYT this morning, police are searching for the teenagers accused of robbing two Lexington women at gunpoint.
An update now on a deadly crash on Interstate 75 in Lexington.
And a soul singer from across the pond really racks up big at the Grammys.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Top of the morning to you from the WKYT News team, and welcome in. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope your Monday is off to a fabulous start. It's a lot warmer this morning, which is nice.
Nice start. Good weekend, you know.
Yeah.
We had a super Saturday around here, and it looks all right as we head into the day, but it's going to get colder. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
That's what it looks like. Hey, Saturday and Sunday actually felt quite nice. We were there in the 50s and 60s for both days. It was phenomenal. Now, guess what? We're starting off in the 50s this morning, and that's why you can see on Defender right there with some green shades down toward the south, which always indicates that rain, and a lot of that's going to be moving on out in the next several hours. It'll take some time, but it will. And once it does, that coldest air filters on in. We're at 36 now in Covington. We're at 52 in Harlan. That's a big temperature swing, and you will feel it as you get in toward the afternoon time. So don't dress prepared for the 50s. If you've already been outside this morning, maybe to have a cup of coffee or whatnot, yeah, it feels really good, but it won't this afternoon. At 36, temperatures will be dropping, and a slight rain chance there in the forecast. I'll show you off not just the next couple of days as it's cool, but it gets much colder than this on the screen. Yeah, we're talking teens and 20s for highs. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Here's the latest from WKYT. New this morning, we're tracking two crime alerts in Lexington after a couple of overnight robberies.
In both cases, police say women were robbed of their vehicles at gunpoint. WKYT's Mark Barber is live this morning in Lexington with more details.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Police have called canines off the search for the suspects here at the Farrington Apartments on Laredo Drive, but officers are still out here on foot searching the area for a gunman who they say threatened to kill a mother of 7 children and then stole her car. The woman, who is still very shaken, says when she pulled into the parking lot here at the Farrington Apartments around 3:30 this morning, 3 men armed with guns surrounded her car. She says she has 7 kids, so when the gunman held a gun to her head, all she could think about was staying alive to see her children again. The mother tells us they made her empty her pockets and then they grabbed her keys. About a half an hour later, police say they found her stolen car parked on the other end of the apartment complex. Officers tell us they are also investigating a second case of grand theft auto this morning. Investigators say it's quite rare to see this happen twice in one morning, by the way. In the first case, we're told that a woman living on East Loudon stepped outside around 3:15 this morning to get something from her truck. Investigators tell us she was then approached by 2 juveniles with guns who told her to empty her pockets and then took the keys to her black Ford Ranger. Now, police say even though the 2 cases have similar suspect descriptions and happened just a few minutes apart, they don't know if those cases are connected at this point. Police say the key to that would be if they were to find that black Ford Ranger here at the Farrington Apartments. And again, the search for that Ranger and for those suspects continues right now. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
We'll see how it all turns out. Thank you very much. Also new this morning, Interstate 75 is back open after a deadly crash. A woman died after being ejected, and now police are hoping that a surviving victim can help them with their investigation. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is live at UK Hospital to explain that. Hillary, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. That survivor is here at UK Hospital recovering, and Interstate 75 is back open this morning after the northbound lanes were closed for several hours. The crash happened just before 9 o'clock last night near the Madison and Fayette County line at mile marker 99. Officials say there were 2 people in the car when it left the roadway for some reason. The Fayette County coroner says 1 person was ejected from that car into traffic and was then hit several times by other cars. The person in that car was brought here to the hospital, and investigators are planning to talk to them later on to see if maybe they can provide some information as to what led up to that crash. We have been in contact with the victim's family, and we are told the coroner plans to release that name later today. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Well, months after a deadly Lexington shooting, a murder suspect is expected to make his first court appearance today. Martavius Bell Jr. will be arraigned. He was arrested Friday on Gatehouse Place in Lexington. Police say in November he shot and killed 51-year-old Stacy Lilly on East 7th Street. A witness told police he heard 2 people arguing over money before the shooting. Well, one man is in the hospital, another in jail after a stabbing. Berea police charged Chad Glovnak with attempted murder. They say he cut Freddie Biggs' throat over the weekend outside a home on East Hayti Road. Biggs was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. At last check, he was expected to live.
There will be increased security this week at Eastern Kentucky University after a threat of gun violence on campus. Police say someone wrote the message on a bathroom wall saying the violence would happen this Wednesday. Campus police have set up an anonymous online account for anyone with any information about the person responsible. You can find that form on EKU's police website. We're tracking a crime alert after a man was shot at a Lexington strip club. Police say the man was shot in the leg early yesterday at Diamonds on Winchester Road. The victim is expected to recover. Police say witnesses to the shooting are not cooperating with their investigation. A high school basketball coach in Eastern Kentucky is facing a DUI charge this morning. Perry County Central High School assistant coach Lawrence Thomas was arrested over the weekend. The school's superintendent says Thomas is no longer with the team. His arrest was a day after former head football coach Jordan Amos resigned after being arrested for alcohol intoxication.
Well, family and friends have scheduled a memorial for a man killed while crossing the road. 84-year-old Jim Ham died last month after being hit by a car on US 60 near Morehead State University. Friends say he was a caring man who volunteered at a nearby nursing home. His memorial is Wednesday at the Life Care Center in Morehead. Well, a Central Kentucky mother lost much of what she owns after a fire destroyed her home. By the time firefighters got to the home on Queens Way in Nicholasville, it was too late. The woman living there suffered burns to her arm and face. She has 2 children, including an infant, and says she lost most of their things in the fire. The University of Kentucky says it's conducting a full investigation after a barn was destroyed in a weekend fire. UK owned the dairy barn on Drummond Drive. Smoke and flames could be seen from more than a mile away. UK says there were no cows in the barn. No one was hurt.
The time is now 6:07 on WKYT this morning, and we have a traffic alert for you this morning. Several busy Lexington roads will be closed this week for construction. It's all part of the widening project on Leestown Road. Starting today, crews will close part of Alexandria Drive at Viley Road to set the beams for the new bridge structure there. Part of Old Frankfort Pike will be closed on Friday, so keep that in mind. Well, British soul singer Sam Smith took home 3 of the top 4 awards at last night's Grammys.
Smith won big with the hit song and record of the year, Stay With Me. He was also named Best New Artist. But rocker Beck stole Smith's thunder with a win for Album of the Year. The night featured some big performances from top artists of yesterday and today, including Beyonce, Paul McCartney, and Pharrell. So some interesting pairings going on there with some of the performances.
Kind of a fusion of old and new there. It was very interesting. And then Madonna was out there dancing it away last night.
How did she do? You watched it.
She did well, yeah.
Okay.
She still has the moves, we'll say.
So it was worth staying up for, huh?
Right. A little late. 6:08 on WKYT this morning.
Let's see what's happening on the roads right now.
Let's go out to Officer Don and check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning. With the wet roads, got to be extra careful on the way in this morning. We don't have any wrecks right now, but we're monitoring traffic on the Circle, the Interstate, and Man o' War just to keep you up to date as to what's happening. Let's get a look outside, and we'll show you at this moment what you can expect as you plan to head out. That's I-75-64, a northern split. Also, looks like we're okay inbound Nicholasville Road. As far as our Waze map goes, for now, no major problems to report. Traffic looks good heading toward downtown. Got some stalled cars on the Circles we can see there through the construction zone too, between Alexandria over to Old Frankfort Pike, and that area is where we're probably going to see a lot of congestion this morning as we get into rush hour. We'll keep an eye on it. Now back to you in the studio.
Yeah, pretty obvious slowdown there along the Circle this morning. Thank you very much, Don. We appreciate it. WKYT this morning, just getting started on your Monday.
From function to fun, how a boring old shovel's heating up a New Mexico town.
And we're looking out about no snow around here. We actually see some rain down toward the south and over toward the east. That moves on out. Once again, that cold air is to follow. We'll show you your latest forecast coming up.